Good evening and welcome back to Friday Music Random Vinyl number 21. Tonight we're going to be doing a tribute to the Beatles since all the stuff's coming out with the new anthologies as well as the Wings Greatest Hits, whatever package. This must be the 100th package. Let's be honest, we buy everything we get our hands on when it comes to the Beatles, right? That's Beatle collectors, we're all crazy. Anyway, I want to welcome back my wonderful wife, Karen, who will be randomly going through the Beatles vaults, Canadian only. Twist and shout. This would have been, I guess, introducing the Beatles or the early Beatles on Capitol, introducing on VJ. The infamous I Want to Hold Your Hand picture. Great lineup of songs you get From Me to You, P.S. I Love You, Chains, Anna. Wonderful album. Only came out in Canada. I'm wondering if Capitol ever put this out in the States or worldwide, as they keep doing reissue programs to Apple in England. This is a strange one. I bought this in the 70s. It's on a red Capitol. Really cool looking label, by the way. Anyway, hard to find. Advertises Beatlemania, which is actually Meet the Beatles, or if you want With the Beatles. Next, this is a strange one. As I said, I probably have a couple thousand Beatles albums. This is a Mexican apple. What does a Mexican apple look like? Doesn't look like an apple at all, but it's a gatefold cover, right? Pretty cool. And it comes, 2 LP set. But it's a strange looking, like, it's an EMI label. And it's just, no apple whatsoever. Beatles Story. It's like spending a very special evening in the company of the Beatles themselves. Very interesting album, produced by some Beach Boys guys. Gary Usher and Roger Christian from Beach Boys fame. The 409 Fun era. Produced this album. It was a very popular album during the Beatles tour, and it actually has a medley of some other songs. Plus, there's some live stuff on here, just snippets. They're nowhere else. It's a keeper if you're a Beatles fan. A lot of people are disappointed because it's not a lot of music, just a bunch of guys talking. But it was a big album in its day, and this Mexican issue, I just had to have it. It just looks so cool. Anyway, there you go. Beatles Story. Next. All right. Well, I don't have any balls to tear this apart, but maybe you do. This is a actual butcher cover. I guess you call this what? Third State. Somebody tried to peel it, but this is the butcher cover, and I'm not gonna have it restored. I bought it as such. I'm just afraid I'll destroy it or somebody else will destroy it. There you go. Yesterday and Today album. One of the best albums from a bunch of leftover tracks, and that's why they call it the Butcher. The Beatles thought it was butchering their tracks, but actually it was a very big album in the States. Drive My Car, Day Tripper, Act Naturally, What Goes On. Some really great songs, and Your Bird Can Sing. One of their better albums from the mid-'60s. A great piece in between Revolver and Rubber Soul. Yesterday and Today, Butcher cover, Third State. Next. Oh, you say Sgt. Pepper's. What's so big deal about this? Stereo version from Canada, 1977 issue, okay? It's kind of a textured cover, too. It's kind of neat. There's our guys. Comes with the badges and all that good stuff. Pretty flimsy. But the cool thing is this is vinyl on a purple Capitol label, right? Look at this. Purple swirl. Looks like Joe Ragosa made this. Kind of neat, huh? Sounds pretty darn good too. It's like a purple swirl. Isn't it neat? I haven't seen this since. I remember I ordered these as an import buyer of 17, and I only got about 5 of them. They're really scarce at that point to get. But here it is, the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper, stereo, Canadian, 1977. Next. Oh, this is a great one. Magical Mystery Tour, 1967. I remember seeing this at the 69th Street Terminal when I was getting a donut. I couldn't afford anything. But the booklet, great booklet. Right? This is the rare one, too. This is the one which says, I am the walrus. No, you're not, said little Nicole. The rare one in regular print and on cursive writing. Nice booklet. You wonder why there's a drill hole. Well, this is the mono version. And pretty scarce. You can't find them these days. I found this recently at a farmer's market. Anyway, mint shape, by the way. Capitol mono. And it is a different mix. Totally different. Because I was listening to it and it blew my mind that it was not what I was used to hearing in stereo. This is true mono, and it's there's some different takes on it. It really sounds great. Next, we're going to enter the McCartney era now because of the Wings greatest package that's coming out. Let's start with his first solo album, McCartney. German. It's a German, really cool glossy cover, man. It's great photos by Linda Eastman, the great late Linda Eastman. And Maybe I'm Amazed. Great song, Every Night. The lovely Linda. Beautiful German pressing. Beautiful apple there, huh? One of my favorite McCartney albums. Not my favorite, but in the top 3. Next. Oh, okay, well, here's another German issue. This is different because it doesn't have Helen Wheels on it. I don't know why, but they left it off, so you had to buy the 45. Anyways, this is a great laminated cover of Band on the Run. Great looking label. They don't make albums don't look this cool anymore, but a great cover. Denny and Linda and Paul. I know some of you people have seen this, but a lot of the younger folks haven't seen it. It comes with inner sleeve. Lyrics, and then obviously a really cool poster inside here. Probably one of his biggest albums. Had Jet, had Band on the Run, Mamunia. Just a great album, 1985. And anytime I've seen the guy, he's done most of the songs off this album. It's his Dark Side of the Moon. It's his Abbey Road. Band on the Run. Paul McCartney and Wings. The cover's amazing. One of my favorite actors of all time, James Coburn. If you see the video for this, you see how they put this all together, but it's just a really great album jacket. Coburn getting in on the act just blows my mind, in like Flint. One of my favorite movies of all time. Next, not a real rarity here she picked, but it's a good album. Again, working in the One Stop days. There's an old Capitol hole there. Capitol rep gave it to me. Wings, London Town. I love this album. There's some really good stuff on here. With a Little Luck's a great song. Had Enough is probably one of my favorite McCartney songs from this album. Another great package. I mean, look at this great label. London Bridge, huh? And you got your black and white side, and you got your color side. And, you know, great packaging. Of course, there's always a poster. Back in those days, McCartney always got you the posters. You always get some wonderful stuff. Big record. Next. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is Spies Like Us promo. This is when he came back to Capitol from Columbia, and he wound up having a couple hits. And there was a big movie, Spies Like Us, with Dan Aykroyd, and McCartney had the soundtrack. Rare white label. Pretty cool piece. I don't see this around that often. Anyway, we have one. Got this from old buddy Ricky Salvador. Philadelphia promotion man. One of the best guys I've ever met in my life. Still a best bub. Anyway, Spies Like Us, Paul McCartney. Next. All right, we'll close it out with the Russian album. They wound up putting this out later, but this is the Russian piece. I can't pronounce what they call it, but he does a lot of fitness stuff. This is it's an original issue. Probably hard to get at the point, and they reissued this on EMI about 2 or 3 years ago. Great versions of Lottie Miss Claudie, Bring It On Home to Me, That's All Right Mama, Summertime. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just say the Russian album. Anyway, Paul McCartney. Hope you enjoyed tonight's little special on the Beatles and Paul McCartney. I thought we'd amp it up a little bit since they're putting out the anthology 4, to buy it all over again, as well as the new Wings Greatest Hits package that's coming. Maybe a little story about this placard. You know, for years we cut a lot of albums over at Capitol at the Tower, and I just found this, and there it is. That's my that's what I used to put in the wall when you'd be in the session. I found this. I forgot I grabbed one. Kind of nice, huh? Goes with the Capitol stuff with the Beatles. Anyway, you have a wonderful night, and as always, isn't she the greatest?